and welcome to another episode of the Diaries of Everything Ching. As always, make sure you have your beverage. You know I do not discriminate, whether it's hot, cold, or warm. It does not matter to me. Just make sure you have your tea because I'm about to spill, okay? So I was on Instagram sometime this week and I saw a post. And the post was basically saying people are just tired of like that perfection to sell content or their brand. And you know what? Yeah, absolutely, man. I agree. And so for me, right, I'm a creative by nature. I'm a creative at heart. I write, I paint, I don't draw, and I talk, okay? And when I write, it is so much more than just me putting pen to paper or typing on a keyboard. Like, I really go deep. My thoughts are beyond surface level. It's very, it takes you on a journey. You have to think. And, it's just really my inner self coming out and expressing through word, right? So I just recently stopped calling my written pieces blogs because that's what everybody calls them. That's what they're known as. They're soul scribbles, okay? Because these are scribbles of my soul. And so with that being said, I do agree. When it comes to promoting your art, your brand, whatever it may be, there just seems to be this pressure to make your content marketable. There's a lot of people who kind of thrive on that perfection. They have a business, they're selling templates, they're how-tos, steps, tips, classes, and all of those things. And not to knock them at all, because they found a niche and it's working for them. And, there is a way to sell your brand in an appropriate way, especially when you want to capture the eyes of like brands and start working on brand deals and stuff like that. I just think that it is so difficult when you're trying to be perfect that your work almost seems robotic. The way you promote almost seems robotic and generic, and it really can, turn some people off. It can discourage people because there's only so much polishing somebody wants to do, because it really does take a lot of time. Like, I've edited short videos for fun. During COVID, I was doing a lot of TikToks, and even to edit those just for fun alone, those took me a very long time. And so I can't even imagine when somebody has to do a video for like a brand deal or, something to kind of push a brand that they're selling or what have you. And then on top of, doing the editing, you now want to make sure that it's super polished, that it's perfect. Listen, okay? I was even looking at my own page, okay? Follow me on Instagram at everything.ching. And a lot of the stuff that I use for promo, I do have some polished pieces on there. I'm not going to lie. And I can tell when it's polished. And I can tell that, it looks robotic. And to be honest, I think it's dehumanizing us. It kind of loses relatability. It kind of makes us out of touch with who we are and why we wanted to even, share our art, share our perspective, share our voice, share ourselves, share our families. However people are sharing themselves with the world is because they wanted to show people something relatable. They wanted to show people maybe a way to style clothes, maybe a way to live your life, maybe a way to travel by yourself safely. All of these different niches that we all started with. And it just started with, hey, I want to show people that I'm an average person and I can do it and they can do it too. And then as social media continues, people are picking out flaws and, oh my gosh, why is, their mattress on the ground, or why why do they have a white fridge, or all this stuff. So now people have to be extremely careful about what they post. People have to make sure that it's perfect because they don't want people to talk shit about their content and potentially ruin it. Let me tell you something. Social media is so fucking toxic. Okay, your shit can be polished, and I promise you there's somebody out there who is going to take the challenge and talk shit about your content. Whether it is your hair, whether it's whatever your eye makeup is, whether it's your fade, it doesn't matter, your braids, whatever. Someone's going to talk shit. And it's really our imperfections that's magical. Like, that's our fucking superpower. Now, I'm not saying like don't try, right? I'm not saying slouch around and not put any effort into your craft, but the idea of continuously having to be perfect to sell your brand needs to kick rocks. Because at the end of the day, we're human. We make mistakes. We're not getting up every day glamorized. We're not going to have it together all the time. We're going to, how much times on this freaking podcast I've spoken and stuttered and messed up words, and I still keep it moving. Like, I'm not deleting nothing. I used to. When I used to make mistakes before on my pods, I used to delete the whole thing and re-record it. And some of the episodes, I go back and I listen and I realize that it sounds so robotic. I don't sound as enthused as I did the first go round because I've gotten so far into the podcast, and then I make a fucking mistake, and then I get pissed off, and then I stop the entire podcast and I delete the whole track, and then I re-record it. But now I'm irritated, right? So, but then I tried to like spice it up, but it's not genuine anymore. Like, I lost the sauce. Like, it's gone. So fuck that. Like, what you get is what you get. I am human. I make mistakes. I stutter. I use big words wrong. I use big words right. I use small words wrong. I use small words right. I make a lot of typos. I'm me. I'm human. And I'm grown, and I will never stop growing, and I'm always going to have imperfections, and my imperfections are my superpower. I've always been so afraid of rejection. I've done a lot of projects in the past, and, I don't get the views that I want or the likes, or it doesn't take me where I feel like it should go, and I get discouraged. But then, you know what? I was working off of that blueprint of perfection. Nobody wants to listen to it because it's not perfect. Nobody wants to listen to it because I am not glamorized in my videos. Nobody wants to listen to it because I stuttered. Nobody wants to listen to it because, whatever. And then, you try to be all peppy and like super like polished, and it's like, chaba. Like, ain't nobody talking like that. Ain't nobody doing that. Who's having a conversation around the kitchen table like that? And if you are, boo, fucking tomatoes. Like, who's doing that? It's not genuine. Nobody can relate to that. So for 2026, everybody realize this. You are human. Regardless of what they say on social media, though people don't know you. You share what you want to share. How you want to share it, when you want to share it, in whatever fashion you choose to share it. If you mess up, so what? If you stutter, so what? If you have a hole in your shirt, so what? As long as it's not showing any, lines of scrimmage, you're okay. Yeah, you're good. You're human. How much of us have holy shirts that we want to get rid of? But maybe it's our favorite shirt. Maybe the shirt's comfortable. Maybe, maybe there's some sentimental value to the shirt. Someone's like, damn, you don't have no clothes? I do, but I like this shirt and I'm going to wear this shirt. I have been on a couple pages and people would post videos and they're wearing the same shirt or the same pants or whatever. And people are like, well, damn, like you don't have no more clothes. Like, damn, God forbid I bought clothes to wear it twice. People are really in the comments talking about, oh, I could have swore I seen you wear this shirt before. Of course, you've seen them wear the shirt before. They bought the shirt to wear multiple times. Who actually buys clothes and only wears them once? Who is not a celebrity? Who can actually afford to maybe, and hell, maybe they wear the same shit more than once too, I'm sure. Maybe we don't see it, but they do. Like, come on. We gotta let go of this false reality that is perfection. Perfection does not exist. The perfection of the world is the imperfection. The superpower of the world is the imperfection. We are all individually wrapped in imperfection, and that's what makes us special. If we were all meant to be one level of perfect, we would be one singular person. There wouldn't be so much of us out here following the same transcript because it's the same shit anyway. So we may as well be one person. That's why we're not. We're individuals for a reason. So if you feel that your art is not good enough, it is. If you feel like your content isn't good enough, it is. As long as it's true to who you are, it will always be good enough. And you need to start daring people to tell you different, because if they're telling you different, then they don't know. So it's your time to teach them. And I'm going to leave it there. So until next time, embrace your superpower. See, look at that. You see, look at that. Embrace your superpower. That is imperfection. And cheers to a new episode.